evening. Okay, we're going to set this up. All right, so welcome to our 8:30 p.m. Periscope. We do a team training every single Thursday, Monday, whatever night it is, Monday night at 8:30 p.m. It's probably like 8:29, so I'm going to take a bite of my muffin if you don't mind. So, they're really good. You guys should eat these. I like the chocolate ones better, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Alright, so, now I need water. I also love Smart Water. They should make me an ambassador. I think I have some muffin in my tooth. Alright, we're good. So, I think it's 8:30, so we're going to get started right now. Hold on, let's see. It's close enough. I like keeping these short, sweet, and to the point, and so thank you for joining me. I hope I give you a ton of content on this Motivational Monday, right? So I love Mondays. Mondays are my favorite day of the week. They are always my most productive day of the week, and that is saying a lot because I'm always productive. I just feel like Mondays are that fresh start. So I understand why people start diets on Mondays. I understand why people reset their goals on Mondays. I love Mondays. So no matter what happened yesterday, yeah, see, you agree. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter what happened Saturday, no matter what happened last week, last month, last year, I just feel like Mondays are a fresh start. So Mondays are consistently my favorite day of the week, and I would love to help some of you create some leads, get some new leads in your business. Whatever your business is, doesn't matter. This will apply to every single one of them. So this can be if you own a brick and mortar, this can be if you're in network marketing, this could be if you're in real estate, this could be in whatever, okay? So I happen to be an entrepreneur, I am in network marketing, and I love it. And people are always asking me, they're like, Jessie Lee, you have more leads than anybody I know. Everybody wants to join your team. Everybody wants to buy from you. What on earth are you doing? And so this is exciting for me because I don't think I have like a special thing about me that makes, that is something you can't duplicate. I will tell you, I have a lot of personality. But that's just me. And I don't think that's necessarily why people flock to me. So I'm going to give you 8 things that I think are very useful and that have helped me over the last 5 years in business. So number 1 is blogging. So you can take this however you want to. When I started my business, I actually used to blog pretty regularly. And I actually I need to get back to it. Saying it, I'm going to start doing it again, okay? But what I kind of transitioned that into from blogging is I make sort of epic statuses on Facebook. So I tend to tell stories on Facebook that have people that have people following me. So that's kind of a bit of a way that you could sort of look at that as blogging. Now, the cool thing about a blog, if you're maybe new in business or if you're looking for some great ideas to launch a business, etc., is that blogs are all yours. Does that make sense? So what I mean by that is blogs are your little area of the internet where you can say and you can do and you can advertise anything you want to. So they let people get a good idea of who you are, and they can start to learn to trust you without you doing anything or trying to sell to them. So a lot of people message me and they say, how do I connect with people so that they know I'm not just trying to sell to them or I'm not just trying to recruit to them? And I always tell them to really go down through your newsfeed and connect with every single post you read, because that is you building a relationship to begin with. But aside from that, especially if you're starting from scratch in a new business, I highly suggest blogging because you can offer a lot of content, you can offer a lot of value, and you can absolutely throw a ton of personality in, because blogs, you can do multiple pictures, you can do video, you can do the written word, whatever you're most comfortable in. And then also, if you're bad at writing, blogs are great because you can totally hire somebody for, go on Fiverr or something like that. It's an app. And you could probably spend $5 to get somebody to write, a blog entry for you if you video or audio recorded it for them. So, all right, so blogs. Number 2 tip is going to be content. Content. Okay, that should have every star, heart, whatever in the bunch on it, because content is what sets me apart from so many people. So many people just share other people's stuff and have no original content. So many people just read quotes off of somebody that is like their favorite person. So many people, just share from somebody else's Facebook page a picture of something, right? And that's not original content. If you want more leads to follow you and not the person that you shared from, you need to start creating your own content. Now, how do you create content? Guys, content is not necessarily some like mind-blowing thing. People people on our team do it all the time. They say, Jessie Lee, I don't have anything to share. I'm boring. I didn't do anything entertaining. And I'm like, guys, content doesn't have to be mind-blowing, right? Content can be something that is just straight up entertaining, right? Like yesterday I posted the picture after a Paws in the Park, some dog vendor event I went to. I was like, tongue out of my mouth, because the Doberman, her tongue was out of her mouth like this far, right? You might think, is that really content? Well, yes, because how many people clicked like on the photo? How many people commented? And how many people follow me for pictures of dogs, right? It's absolutely content. Like, I haven't posted a picture of this yet, but I broke a company record the other day. And so my upline gave me flowers and then some bracelets, right? Like, this kind of stuff you don't think of as content, but it totally is, because so much of content when it comes to a business is that you are doing something that other people don't have. And the cool thing about life is that all of us have something that everybody doesn't have, right? There's something unique about you, even if it's just, I don't know, you always wear crazy pajama pants. Like, that might sound silly, but my friend Jamal has branded himself with socks. Like, he just posts pictures of these ridiculous socks he wears all the time. Like, and people follow him to see what his socks look like, guys. So, and then he takes like silly selfies, like the hashtag, I'm not trying to take a selfie. Like, he makes fun of people, but it's like people follow him because it's become his own unique content, okay? Videos are your best way to get content out there, and I know that they are the most nerve-wracking for the average person, but I'm going to tell you guys, you got to bite the bullet, you got to put yourself out there, you got to get scared, and you've got to make, and I mean on a consistent basis, make videos. Somebody wrote on my wall this morning, she said, I want Jessie Lee on Facebook Live every single day. Jessie Lee, I want you to do a Facebook Live every single day. And I said, okay, I will start doing a Facebook Live every single day. And she said, I just need your energy every day. You're always positive, and I just feel like I need that in my life. And I'm like, you know what? Absolutely. Because I have plenty to say every single day of my life. So why the heck not, right? So content, videos are going to be your best bet, okay? The third thing is networking events. Now, especially if you are a nervous Nelly, force yourself to go to a networking event, and do not just hand out your business card like it's candy. Connect with people, add them to your Facebook, get to know them, exchange business information with them, right? Find somebody who you truly relate to, that you can chat with, that you're like, I really like you, right? Many times, if I go to a networking event, I don't usually talk to that many people. I usually talk to 2 or 3 people. Like, I'll say, hi or whatever and do my introduction thing, but I focus on 2 or 3 people. I focus on building that relationship with those 2 to 3 people. I focus on connecting with those 2 to 3 people, getting to know more about their business, getting to know more about them, and that's it. I don't try to connect with all 50 people at the networking event. Are you kidding me? No, like, not at all. Networking events can be a long-term kind of lead thing, though, I'm not going to lie, because I think a lot of that is really building that long-term relationship where you're cultivating business together, okay? But the cool thing about that is especially if you're a recruiter, if you're trying to recruit, networking events can be great because business owners love business opportunities. So, your best recruits are going to be the people who own a brick and mortar, right? Because brick and mortar people have huge overhead. They have to pay fees to their employees. They have to pay fees to rent the actual location of their business. They have to pay all of the fees for everything that goes missing in their store, the paperwork, etc. So they love the opportunity of network marketing because it's a second income where they don't have to put out big money. They can put out, $500, $1,000, and they can get massive returns. And think about it. Those people at those networking events are your hot leads. They tend to take longer to close because they know they're a hot lead and they know what they're worth. But in the long run, those are the people that are going to take your business from A to Z really fast, okay? My next tip for lead generating is vendor events. So check it out. you might be like, Jessie Lee, I can't afford to pay $500 for a booth at a vendor event. Well, that's fine. I went to a vendor event yesterday, okay? I went to Paws in the Park, and I would show you my counter, but it looks so ridiculous because I have mounds of stuff, okay? So the vendors were all giving stuff out, but what I also did is I took my business cards. So when I would just chat with people, and it was so easy because Paws in the Park, everybody has a dog, and I had 3 dogs with me, so it was just me. Woo! So I was getting a lot of attention. I had a Doberman, a Pit Bull, and I have a Shar-Pei Bulldog mix. So the Doberman actually got off leash for a minute, which she's super nice, but people were like, oh my God, big scary dog. I was like, oh my God, she's fine. I was like, Sasha, sit, and she sat. And then I have a deaf Pit Bull actually, so she was not listening. Shocker. And then my little Bull Pei is like the best dog on planet Earth, so little Kumba, but when people would connect with me and the dog owners, not even necessarily the vendors, we would chat and I'd get to know their dogs and I'd say, oh my gosh, I've seen you at the dog park, you know, perfect opportunity for you to say, hey, you know, I'm actually not a vendor here because I actually didn't know that this was happening until this morning, but I actually have my own business too. Do you mind if I give you a $10 gift card? And all these people were so receptive to it. And then I also connected with a lot of vendors. So vendors at vendor events also tend to be new in business too. So this is a really good opportunity to connect them on your Facebook. Very hot leads, right? Because you can connect them on your Facebook. A lot of companies, especially in a network marketing era, the kind of unfortunate thing about it is if you're not with a company with a very strong financial backing, the companies tend to go out of business. And so there's always, people looking for the opportunity. You know, I was actually part of a company going under once. I've been there. I've done that. I've gone through an acquisition. I've gone through, restarting my entire business. So I know what it's like. Miche bags or whatever, they just went out of business this year. The jewelry, what is it? I can't remember. That jewelry company went out of business last year. I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't remember what it was called. Maybe somebody else can remember and say in the comments. But vendor, I don't think Origami Owl's out of business. Are they out of business? Cookie Lee changed their name. They have new ownership. But there was one last year. Not Silpada. Here's my point. There's a million companies, right? So, and you also never know when a company's no longer gonna be a good fit for somebody, right? So, treasure something. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to look that up. Not Premiere. It's gonna drive me totally nuts. Not Stella and Dot. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's gonna drive me cuckoo, but yeah, who cares really? Point being, people go out of business all the time, and businesses stop being appropriate for a lot of people. So the business I was in, it no longer was appropriate for me because, quite frankly, Leah Sophia, yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, I was going crazy over here. So all these consultants no longer had a home, right? And so they needed an opportunity. Had you connected with one of these people in the past, you guys, it's a huge recruit lead, right? So, I love that about network marketing because we're building these huge teams anyway, and people follow strong leaders, period. Okay, so, but point being, vendor events are an amazing place where you can connect with not only the guests who are there, but of course the vendors as well, okay? The other thing I love is webinars. Now, webinars don't have to be webinars like you're thinking. I'm talking like this. Okay, so this is a great way to get leads. Like the 14 of you who are on here right now, and I know people are coming in and coming out and coming in and coming out. I don't know all of you, and you're on here, and now you know who I am, and you're like, oh, well, she's well-spoken. So you're going to go on Facebook, and you're going to follow me, Facebook/I'm Boss Lee. You're going to follow me on Instagram, same thing, I'm Boss Lee. You're going to start following me, right? This is just what happens naturally. Same thing with Facebook Live. People are sharing it, and when people share it, you get new leads who are following you. And the only way something like this works is when you have that content. Back up to the second thing I said. Okay, so if somebody is watching this right here and they're not getting anything out of it, they're not going to want to connect with you anywhere. They're going to say, this girl has no idea what she's talking about. This girl is whack. I don't want to follow her at all. She has no idea what's going on in her business. She has no idea how to run a business. I'm not going to follow her at all, right? But if you have content, like the second tip I gave you, when you're doing webinars and live feeds like this, people flock to you. Because they say, whoa, that girl knows what she's doing. She's ran multi-million-dollar teams. She helps her team. She talked about giving away Tiffany's on the last webinar. Like, people get engaged, okay? The next thing is media coverage. So this might sound weird to you. You might be like, really? Like, media coverage? One of the biggest things I ever did in my business when it came to media was actually a traditional media coverage thing. So my first year in business, after I was doing the blogging and stuff like that, I broke a company record. I was the top new recruiter and top new in sales in my company, and I won awards for it. So I had trophies, and I was very excited. I had this great little team, and I called my local newspaper, and I said, hi, I'm local to this area. I was born and raised in this town. I think you should do an article on me because I'm a fascinating character, and I think a lot of people would get a lot of motivation if you interviewed me. And I should run this camera upstairs and show you, but they wrote a whole article on me about how I broke these company records, how I'm somebody that everybody should follow in the community, and it gave me a huge community presence. I recruited like 15 people from that article. Sales were insane. People were just buying from my website like nuts. And you guys, this was a small local newspaper. It wasn't like the Washington Post. It was the Frederick News Post. Like, you know, it was not like a big, huge thing, right? But I had that media coverage because when something comes from a reputable source, people tend to follow it more seriously than even just a Facebook post or whatever. So get on a radio, radio's dead, screw that. Get on an online article, get someone to blog about you, guest blogging, things like this. That traditional media coverage, huge. If you've done anything in your business, or even your personal life, like my one friend, I talked about him earlier with the socks. He's trying to bring big brothers, big sisters back to the community. And so he said, "How do I do it, Jessie Lee?" I said, "You call the newspaper." So the newspaper did an article on him, and now the ball is rolling again, right? So that had nothing to do with his business, right? Like his business is also network marketing, but now he's got this new following of people who are watching his Facebook, watching his Twitter, watching all of this because he's a good person. So you don't always need to promote your business. You need to promote really who you are in your heart. That is just it's good to be diversified, right? Like my only hobby is not running a business, right? Okay. And the last thing, my 8th tip when it comes to getting leads is strong branding. Make yourself somebody that people think about, right? So I talk about this a lot, but many of us have very common names, or maybe names that are kind of hard to pronounce, or even, hard to spell or something like that. Make something about your name stand out. So, so for me, Jessie Lee is my name. So a lot of people, that's I don't think anybody knows any other Jessie Lees, right? But, if it were just Jessie, it's so easy to say, well, Jessie who, right? But I'm Jessie Lee. I'm loud. I'm exciting. I have great eyebrows. I have green and blue hair, which I don't know if you can tell right now, right? I've got more personality than 40 people packed together. I've got tons of energy. And I've branded myself as Boss Lee. Like, people know me as Boss Lee. So I'm Boss Lee is my handle everywhere, right? But very strong branding, and an easy way to get some extra sales is every picture you post, every post you make, just drop your URL on it. If you're going to post a picture, if you're not comfortable putting it in the actual link, add it to your photo like a watermark almost, right? Because you're branding yourself. You're getting people to say, hey, what is that thing that you're doing? My next door neighbor actually runs her own organizational company. Like, she does professional organizing, and she posts a daily picture of nature. She takes a nature walk every day, and in the corner of all of her pictures is her it's called like Organized Simple Solutions or something. And so she doesn't even have to say anything, but people are watching, right? People see the thing, and people might not buy today, they might not buy tomorrow, but guys, I'm 5 years in business where I've been doing all of these things, and now it's like, hey, I need to recruit somebody, let me make one phone call. Okay, so it happens that fast, but you have to commit to these kinds of things, otherwise the leads are never going to come, okay? So I like to keep it short and sweet, so I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure you follow me. Instagram, Facebook, all of it is I'm Boss Lee. Any questions you have, I'm very easy to get a hold of, so just message me. I'll respond right away. I'm like rapid response responder, but anything you need, thank you for giving me your time. I appreciate it. I know it's the only thing you can't buy. So have a great rest of your night, and thanks again.